I tried the weirdest hobbies Jack Pembroke video. Type locked in, chat. We are locked the fuck in here.
This is me dangling off a 200-foot cliff doing a hobby known as extreme ironing. And
that is not a hobby. That is a thing that people do. They hang off cliffs and iron clothes. Ironing clothes alone is just a shitty hobby. I suck at ironing.
Just one of many weird hobbies that I'm going to be testing. What am I doing? See, I'm on a mission to answer the question, why on earth do people enjoy these hobbies? And what I found...
He has to do another one where he's like, I tried the weirdest collection hobbies. And he just like walks into this one guy's basement and there's just like jars of belly button lint and like toenail clippings, and you could just imagine what that guy would look like.
Found on this journey pushed me to my absolute limit. And the journey begins with an 11-hour flight all the way to the United Kingdom. And guys, I'm here for one reason and one reason only. The World Worm Charming Championships.
Worm charming? What? How do they determine that? I know I saw the preview where he put the stick in the ground, but I remember I learned about it in like, I think middle school, where you can, yeah, there's like certain sticks that you shove in the ground, and if you vibrate it, worms like come to the surface. But how do they determine who wins? And what if there's no worms in my patch of grass?
Here, hundreds of people gather for the hobby of worm charming, a hobby that involves creating vibrations in the dirt to summon worms from the soil. Guys, when I found out about this, I literally thought it was a joke, but apparently it's not as easy as it looks. People use everything from shovels to literal trumpets to summon these worms. The idea is to...
Pros playing the trumpet into the ground to coax worms to come out. Why not just dig it? Why not just dig into the ground? At that point, I'm gonna just get a shovel. How many worms do you think are in like a square foot of grass? Less than one? There's that many worms in the grass? I genuinely would have assumed that like in a regular backyard, there's a lot of worm, but not enough. Yo, you ever, I don't know if it's like during a storm or like when they spray like bug pesticide, but I remember when I was a kid, there would be like random days I would go out and there would just be a bunch of dead slugs and worms and everything. And it was like a fucking war broke out. And they were all on the concrete. It's when it rains. Dude, I don't know. But yeah, maybe after a storm, I would walk out and there would just be fucking dead grass creatures everywhere.
These objects to create sound vibrations in the ground, attracting worms to the surface.
Did you eat them? What a fucking question that is.
Luckily, I came prepared. These are worm charming tools, which is what I'll be using. The current
Yo, you ever see a fat bird? Now I'm thinking about this. You ever see a fat bird? Follow my train of thinking here. After a heavy storm, lot of dead slugs, lot of food for birds. If a bird were to go along and just take all that for itself, is it gonna get fat? Flightless birds get fat. Flight-needed birds. You know why you don't see a fat bird? If a bird gets too big, it falls to its death.
A 10-year-old girl who was able to summon 567
worms in one patch of grass.
Record holder is a 10-year-old girl who was able to summon 567 worms. Bruh. But people have literally won the
in her lifespan, or like in one backyard. How are you summoning 567 worms?
the contest by just summoning 13 worms. My goal is simple. Summon at least one worm. It sounds pretty easy, but looking at this competition,
I don't want to be a dick, but I feel like it is easy. You know, I'm always overly confident in my capabilities, but you're telling me I just gotta get a fucking leg stool and just rub it with a stick and then worms come out of the ground? I really don't think it's that hard. I genuinely believe that I would get like a file and I would just go and it would like make a vibration noise and then they come out of the ground.
a little bit intimidated, so... Upon entering the competition, I was given a designated worm cup, and they even assigned me my own worm charming area.
I don't want to say this is RNG here, right? I don't want to say they need some X-ray technology, but this seems a bit unfair in my personal opinion. If I get designated a patch of grass that is below par, comparable to my opponents, I might be a better summoner, but I have less worms to summon.
I had a few extra minutes before the event started, so I decided to talk to some fellow worm charmers. You guys do this as like a hobby?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna beat you.
Every year I've been here for like 4 years, so get ready.
Looks like you have some drums here. What's that about?
Vibration.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and you have a harmonica?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone.
How the fuck are you gonna, what are you gonna get near to the ground and then play it? How are you gonna, the worms aren't gonna hear that. Am I fucking wedging my head into the fucking dirt and playing a harmonica so they come out?
Everyone seem to have their own unique tools and techniques to make these vibrations in the soil.
Yeah, that shit's gonna work. That'd be my fucking choice. That'd be my choice tool to fucking summon worms. Summer's coming to an end, and fall is rolling through. Spooky season is upon us, and pumpkin spice drinks are everywhere. The leaves are falling, and American football's starting up. And what a better way to get into this fall season than partnering with DraftKings, because this video is sponsored by DraftKings. DraftKings is an official partner of the NFL. And if you're a new customer and sign up to DraftKings today, as well as use promo code JOEB and place a $5 bet, you get $250 in bonus bets instantly, as well as 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. And it's not just the NFL or American football that you can bet on. You can bet on anything. Well, I mean, not if you're a fan of tap dancing. I don't think DraftKings have tap dancing. But, you know, swimming, volleyball, track events, UFC, American football, football, whatever tickles your fancy, buddy. DraftKings has it. $5 bet, new customers, $250 in bonus bets instantly, as well as 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it.
Put that in the ground and then blow into that. Down the hole of it.
You might win. You have some.
You might win. Just kidding, buddy. He smiles at me like that. Just joking. Nice fucking PVC pipe, dumbass. You're about to get fucking murdered by me. And then I pull out like I'm the kid with the harmonica. Nice PVC pipe, nerd. Why don't you get yourself one of these? I just start.
You might win.
A subwoofer. I bring out like a $500 JBL speaker and just play fucking rave music right into the ground.
You have some musical notes here?
Yeah, we try really hard to catch the worms. First time we did it, we just had the forks and we couldn't catch anything.
You couldn't catch any worms? I was starting to get pretty concerned with my chances of getting a worm. I mean, does this even work? I have no idea, but I didn't come all this way not to get a worm. I waited anxiously for.
You walk up to one of the patches with the kids and be like, I hope you know you're going to get murdered in this competition today. A toddler's super excited to just try and get worms to go out of the ground. I hope you know I'm going to put you into the fucking mud here. Okay.
For the event to start, knowing that everything came down to this one moment.
Right, last call. Any more to come to the worm charming field?
We're doing this.
I would love to go to one of these competitions and just crash out. Just like get like one worm. The winner gets like 30 and I just start fucking losing it.
30 minutes of hard work. Countdown then. So ready. 10, 9.
And before
I don't want to say this guy's bird costume is going to hinder his worm charming capabilities, but I think it's going to hinder how many birds he gets. Or not birds, worms.
I knew it, it was game time. One! Oh my god! Oh my god! What's going on? This was
They have 30 minutes.
truly unlike anything I've ever experienced. Everybody was putting their all into catching these worms.
Yo, I'm cheating. I'm gonna bring pocket worms. I'm gonna go get worms from out of this facility, and I'm gonna throw them on the grass.
Worms, including me. Come on, bro. A few minutes in, I started seeing everyone getting worms. How? Everyone's getting them. But I couldn't seem to get any.
Haven't got any worms yet.
Bro, you're just tapping a fucking pitchfork.
No, I'm trying so hard. And this trying continued. I tried different methods, going slow, going fast, but nothing was working. No! I started to realize that I spent all this money, flew 11 hours.
Oh my god, I thought that was the ticket. I thought that was the fee to play. Oh my god, it was a $1,000 flight.
Dragged my friend Justin out here, and I might not be getting a single worm.
How many worms have you got?
I don't know. I don't know.
How many have you?
But I knew I couldn't give up without a fight. I didn't come all the way to the UK not to find a worm. Let's do this. So I started charming like no tomorrow. We got this! We got this! This might be the most ridiculous thing I've ever done, but I wanted victory. The minutes were flying by and I was losing time.
Keep going. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
As the event was coming to an end. Everything was up to fate. And then something happened. Oh! 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 I got a worm! I got a worm! Yes! Yes! Oh my God! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
He just storms the other patches and just starts fucking breaking all their shit. Fuck you! I got a fucking worm. Pure chance. I don't know. I feel like he probably did get one.
Let's go! And by some miracle, right after this one, I started catching worms.
Yo, look at these people in the back having the time of their lives.
And by some miracle, right after this one, I started catching worms left and right. Another one! Another one! I couldn't...
Started hatching worms. The pocket worms make their appearance now.
believe it.
What the fuck?
I also have a weak stomach. But before I knew it, I had more worms than I could count, and the event came to an end.
3, 2, 1,
Yo, somebody probably got a full-ass cup.
I'm so lightheaded. I think that...
Yo, they definitely ain't got refs that are pocket watching me, bro. I'm just gonna fucking throw my pocket worms into the cup. I ain't even gonna throw them on the grass. I'm just gonna put those bitches in there.
I was very successful. I submitted my worms and sat down to avoid passing out, and eventually the results were in. I came out with a
34, 85? Yo, he's perfected the pocket worm technique. I'm telling you right now, there ain't 85 worms in that patch of fucking grass, buddy.
whopping 10 worms total, which I thought was pretty impressive until they announced the winner.
A. Godfrey with 195.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Yo, I'm actually calling cap on that. 195 worms. Can we get some footage of him just having literal armies of worms just crawl out?
Oh my God! We're cheering for worms. Oh my God!
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. 195 worms.
All right, guys, so that was worm charming. Believe it or not, we have some more even weirder hobbies that we're gonna try, so I better get on my way. I hopped on another flight with my good friend Owen, and we touched down in Michigan. We made our way into the middle of nowhere to...
I always wonder, like, you make money on these videos, obviously, right? But the cost of these videos travel-wise is so expensive. Do you think that he plans out, like, when he went to the UK, I doubt he spent $1,000 to fly to the UK, do that worm thing, and leave. I feel like he probably had to do, like, 4 segments for 4 different videos while he was there.
To our next weird hobby, hobby horsing. A hobby where people ride stick horses and perform horse-like jumps and movements. Behind me is a gym, and inside is the world's first U.S. hobby horsing competition. When I first heard about this, I was like...
Bro, they're all like 5 years old. I did not see somebody in this building with a horse that is above the height of 2 feet tall.
U.S. hobby horsing competition. When I first heard about this, I was like, oh, it's all fun and games. I was mistaken, because this is taken a lot more seriously than you may think.
How do you judge hobby horsing? Like, do you get other previous champions to sit there and critique your capabilities?
People dedicate their entire
Are there
lives
like dressage winners that grade how horse-like you look?
to becoming a hobby horsing champion. And today, I'm taking a crack at it. To be honest, it doesn't look particularly hard, but I'll be finding out by meeting up with a professional hobby horser who will be teaching me all the skills I need to know.
Professional hobby horser. How much money does it, like, a professional means, number one, you're making money. Number two, there's a realm where you're able to compete on a monetary level. Like, there's prize pools here for winners.
By the end of the day, I'll be putting my new skills to the test in front of a real audience. The goal, get a score of at least 8 out of 10. I made my way into the
8 out of 10 first time, buddy. I don't think you're gonna step up to the plate of hobby horsing and be able to score 8 out of 10.
arena, and immediately my socks were blown off. I was surrounded by hundreds of hobby horsers, and I was pretty much the only guy there. People were buying and selling hobby horses left and right.
Only guy there, bro. You're the only person above the age age of 5.
And these
How the hell is there a professional hobby horser?
crews were everywhere. This was all pretty overwhelming, but luckily our hobby horse professional was ready to teach me the ropes. And so we headed outside for my professional lesson.
So my name's Rosie, I'm 18 years old, I'm from Finland, I flew
Yo, Rosie, first hobby horse competition, scored an 8.5. Unheard of in the hobby horsing world, chat.
to be here. I've been to 7 TV shows. So walk is just, you point your toes and you move the horse's head a little. And it has given me the most spectacular and loving fan base.
Fine, you know, question. I don't want to diss the hobby. You know, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Why not just ride a horse? In my personal opinion, it would seem more fun to actually just own and ride a horse, because then you don't have to perfect the movement of a horse. You just have to know how to ride a horse.
And Mingy, he's my first ever award-winning horse. We've been to 7 countries together and I also have a tattoo of him.
That is dedication.
I mainly specialize in dressage. They call me the dressage queen. So yeah.
What other categories of hobby horsing are there? Is there like competitive, like obstacle courses?
That is dedication.
I mainly specialize in dressage. They call me the dressage queen. So yeah, we're pretty good at this.
Rosie agreed
Wow, that was really cocky. That was like movie-ass shit talking.
to teach me her skills in hopes that I could score an 8 out of 10 in the competition.
So if we're doing a basic walk, bend your legs, touch the ground as smooth as possible.
Woo! Oh, wow.
Yeah, keep your eyes up.
Eyes up.
Yeah.
There seemed to be quite a technique to this that I wasn't expecting.
Keep your eyes up.
Oh, yeah, got
So
you.
always toes first.
It's actually hard. Rosie was kind of gassing me up here,
Oh, that's a good height. Yeah.
but I don't think I did as well as I hoped.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a foot cramp. I got a cramp in my foot. Thank you. Although this was helpful, I didn't feel too confident about the competition. I mean, these hobby horsers are pros, and I don't think it's going to be easy getting a high score. So I thought I'd get an opinion.
Is there money at stake here? Like, what do you mean pro?
Do you think I have a chance in the competition?
No.
Really?
Like, I'm guessing you have a lack of experience, which means you're probably not doing a lot of the moves correctly.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people.
Yeah, she's saying you're gonna suck fucking dick at this, Jack. She's saying you're gonna get a fucking 2 out of 10. You shouldn't have entered dressage, Jack. That was your first fucking mistake, buddy. Why'd you enter that category in hobby horsing?
People here that are really good.
And with this rather unfortunate information, I got prepared for the competition. Okay, guys, I am about to go up and compete. It might seem silly, but I really do want to give it my absolute best, and hopefully I can get that 8 out of 10 score. I'm super nervous to do it in front of this live crowd that's behind me. As I waited for my time to shine, I watched as my opponents went one by one, getting harshly judged on their performances. All I can say is these girls were much more prepared than I was, including our friend Rosie.
Did she just have athletic tape on her shins?
Is these girls were much more
No, that was that. I was gonna say.
prepared than I was, including our friend Rosie. I might be screwed. There's no way I'm competing with that. But I really had no choice, and before I could stress myself out anymore, I was up. All right, I'm ready. I'm good? All right, here we go.
I'm assuming also she probably has to fly really far, because I would assume hobby horsing is much larger in warmer climates where, like, are there a lot of horses in Finland? Like, wherever there are a lot of horses, there's probably a lot of hobby horsers. Actually, I don't know, because when I was in Iceland, there was a shitload of horses, but they also ate horses.
Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God.
Do we not have music playing? Are we doing this in silence? We don't have any beat that we're doing this to. We're just fucking prancing around a fucking high school gymnasium with no beat. Okay. There it is. Wow. Beautiful.
I feel good about that. I feel good.
Are you sure about that?
Hopefully I can get an 8 out of 10. Now we just gotta wait for the score.
8 out of 10. Yo, Jack, I honestly think you can get like a 5.
For the longest hour of my life, the results were in. I grabbed my grading sheet, and finally, it's time to see if we achieved our 8 out of 10 score. We good? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. One out of 10.
No! Bro, I'm not even seeing that much of a Yo, that's terrible. Walk, trot, canter, collected walk, extended trot. What is Piaffe? There's 20 points. Elasticity and height. 230 total points. He got 24. So you got a little over a 1. Oh my god.
Clearly this is a lot harder than I expected, but the GOAT herself had some very appreciated feedback for me.
From a professional, that was
She probably got a perfect score, dude.
a solid like 9 out of 10.
Yes, let's go. Honestly, I think I'm pretty satisfied
I want to know what she got. Like, I want to see her scorecard.
with that. Guys, that was hobby horsing. Honestly, a ton of fun, and I have a newfound respect. We have 2 more hobbies to get to, and believe it or not, they get
I did not think there would be that many categories.
even weirder.
Like, that makes it seem so much harder.
We have a flight to catch, so we should probably get going. And after a very awkward TSA encounter, me and Owen hopped on yet another flight. This time, we'd be landing in Washington. We hopped in an Uber to get to our next hobby, extreme ironing. And it's exactly what it sounds like. People iron in the most extreme conditions possible.
Okay, that's hilarious, though. I feel like this is a hobby for the memes of it. Like, the other two starting out were more serious. There's no way somebody would get, like, offended if you were like, dude, you iron and fucking water ski.
In hopes of getting the world's
wakeboard
coolest photo. On cliffs, underwater, while skydiving. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, but I can't lie, these photos go crazy. I was somehow able to get in touch with one of these extreme ironers, and we're on our way to meet up with him now. I'm very excited, but also quite nervous because I could only imagine what kind of person extreme irons. Wish me luck. And after a mystical drive, we met our ironer.
Good to finally meet you.
Yeah. Who just so happened to have the sexiest name I've ever heard.
My name's Jack, and I'm an extreme ironer.
How did you get into extreme ironing?
Jack looks like an extreme ironer. He has a shirt that is similar to the NBA logo, but instead of it being basketball, it's somebody ironing.
It actually started, about 25 years ago. Some guys in the UK
There is no way he ordered that without custom making that.
decided to start extreme ironing. They actually even had an extreme ironing world championships.
All right, that's not extreme at all.
They had a bunch of guys like, kayak.
What a way we've gone.
Guys like, kayaking with an iron. Rock climbing. And everything like that.
Upside down?
Inspired, me and some others, and then, just going out and having that first success on that night.
Bro, this is making me like dissociate, dude. You're telling me this is like a popular thing that people like go out and look forward to like ironing in the woods. Holy shit.
Was just sort of an inspiration. So this is the, I like to call this the Extreme Ironing League shirt. It's for you guys too.
No way. Oh my, dude, this is awesome. Jack, I have one goal today.
Yeah.
Get an epic extreme ironing photo of my own and post it on Instagram for clown validation. All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
We all hopped into Jack's car for a 3-hour drive into rural Washington. I was still very excited at this point.
Yo, that drive was probably so interesting, though. Like, do you think he's a boring guy? No. If your hobby for fun is to rock climb off a mountain and iron clothes, you have to be the most interesting dude alive.
Until Jack here gave me more details on what this extreme ironing would actually entail.
We're going to rock climb and go do some extreme ironing.
How high is the rock?
I think it's more in the 200-foot range, something like that. So nothing too high. You'll climb up there.
Oh, that's actually scary. So I'm not a big heights guy, nor have I ever rock climbed before, so I'm tripping hard. This 3-hour drive was incredibly anxiety-inducing. We made our way deep into the desert where we finally arrived. When we got to the spot, we met up with a few helpers as well as a professional safety guide. Jack helped me get all strapped up, and we got out the ironing boards. It was quite the hike to get to the cliff, and at this point, I didn't even know if I wanted to see it. But as a YouTuber, these are the dumb decisions that I signed up for. Bro said he knew a spot. When I locked eyes on this beast of a cliff, I was mortified. That's terrifying, dude. Immediately, everyone started setting up, and we sent the ironing board up to the top. Jack could tell I was pretty out of it, so he tried to help settle my nerves and gave me some advice.
So you just gotta, commit. I'm excited to see you guys get out there and show us what you got on the iron.
Everything was set up at this point, and it was time to actually do this thing. I got strapped into my harness, and then things got really...
I was gonna say this is where I would get really high to like calm myself down, but then that would probably really risk my life if I was trying to, not fall to my death, but I was also inebriated.
Real. I'm harnessed in. This feels insanely surreal to be here. Guys, this
All right, one hit of the card, it would lock me in.
6 months just to set this up, which is a perfect segue into the fact that we're...
It wouldn't be, it would be more of a, God, I sound like somebody that smokes cigarettes.
trying to hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. It's literally a lifelong goal of mine. And I remember when I first started this channel, not having too much direction in my life and being, quite honestly, kind of unhappy. And fast forward a year later, and we just crossed over 500,000 subscribers. I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support you've been giving the channel. It's actually
I fucking love Jack, dude.
amazing. 1 million is, at the end of the day, just a number, but it's a little bit more than that because I want to try to prove to not only myself, but to you guys, the people watching, that any dream you have is absolutely attainable. As scared as I am to do this, I feel like I owe it to you guys. Let's do this. And so I began regretfully making my way up to the base of the climb. Up close, this cliff looks even more terrifying. Dang, that thing's high. Immediately after I started climbing, I realized this was gonna be even harder than I expected. Looking back at this footage, the cliff looks pretty easy to climb, but in person, it's a whole different story. I couldn't seem to get a good grip on the rock or get my feet in a good position, so it was incredibly hard to make any kind of progress. Oh, dude, I can't even get up the first part. But through a
He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's gotta make it seem like it's scary. And he gets up to the board.
all the difficult things I've done on this channel, this one was absolutely one of the hardest. I continued pushing with everything I had left, and finally, your boy made it to the iron. How am I here right now? I put the shirt on the board and grabbed the iron, and finally, it was time to do what we came here for. This is one big step for iron.
He starts ironing the guy up top. No, you're creasing. No, you're putting on the steam. You're putting on the steam too long.
There's one giant step for extreme ironers everywhere. 3, 2, 1.
You're ruining the shirt, dude. Too aggressive. Nice strokes. Nice strokes.
Woo! Woo! Yeah! We're doing it, baby! Let's go! You know, as difficult as it was getting up here, I think in this moment I understood what this hobby was all about.
In this day and age, I feel like there's so many things that we all have to do, and there's so much seriousness in the world, and just injecting a little bit of fun and levity and just, just ridiculousness, I think it's kind of what the world needs.
Oh my gosh, get me down. Yeah, that was freaking awesome. But what's even more awesome was the photo that Jack was able to capture.
That is actually fucking a sick-ass photo.
That was extreme ironing. This is pretty much a piece of history at this point. Huh? I'm gonna give the shirt away to one person that subscribes. How about that?
I like that.
Jack, thank you so much.
Absolutely, man.
We still have one more hobby. It's a wacky one. It might be the weirdest one. I got a flight to catch. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, you're not coming, Jack, so I don't know why you said let's do it, buddy. You're not. Jack, I'm letting you know I'm never going to speak to you another day in my life.
Walked off, wasn't it?
That was really cool, yeah.
Was that cool how we walked off, guys? And for the finale, we flew back to our home, California, where I'm going to be sharing a weird hobby with you guys that I actually do myself. It's called fingerboarding. It's basically mini skateboarding for your fingers, and it's taken way more seriously than you may think.
Yeah, but this one's kind of badass, though.
Shredder Mania 2, an entire fingerboarding event, and believe it or not, they're holding an actual cut.
Yo, you know a hobby that I would love to get into? Beyblades. I would love to go to I would love to get a collection of Beyblades, and I would have them all lined up, and you go against your opponent, and you shake hands, you let it rip, fucking, you just spin that shit, and then it's like an actual arena.
Fingerboarding competition, and best believe your boy's competing. I'm scared. I actually have fingerboarded before. In fact, my first ever YouTube video was about fingerboarding.
Got a Black River blue camo. That's
a nice board. That's a high quality board. I hope you kept it in its original casing.
sick.
And to this day, it's something I still enjoy doing. And hopefully I can use my skills to my advantage because I have a goal. Place top 3 in the competition. I immediately went to sign up for this competition, but was quickly
Place top 3.
distracted by everything going on. There was dozens of these mini skate parks
So he's confident.
that got weirdly realistic. And not to mention there's an entire fingerboarding store where you can literally buy pants for your fingers, which is ridiculous. I'm not gonna buy that.
Swag Messiah.
Now that's cool. But seriously, all jokes aside, there is a level of seriousness
You know that shit was probably like $35 too for like just a piece of cloth.
here that I was not expecting. And considering I usually choke under pressure, I was feeling pretty uneasy. I'm intimidated. I signed up for the best trick contest, and before the competition started, I tried to meet some of the pros that I'd be going against.
So I'm Jake. My screen name is Jake PFB. You know, I've always been kind of a fidgety person, so if I keep that with me all the time, I can just pull it out, practice my tricks, and it calms my nerves, I guess. As weird as that sounds, but this costs just as much as a real skateboard, so I'll run through the parts really quick. The deck is a Collier deck. These go for about $45. The trucks, Black River trucks, they're $65. Flat face wheels, $35. Bubble bushings.
Bro, this is as much as a regular skateboard. This is as much as, like, this is more than a regular skateboard.
$10. The tape, that's $10, I want to say.
Damn.
You can
Maybe not grip tape. $165 for one board, dude.
totally feel the difference between, let's say, like a plastic board as opposed to this.
I mean, everybody probably thinks that, like, every fingerboarder is like a virgin, you know what I mean? Like,
It is harder than a lot of people think, like way harder. You have to fingerboard for a year to be decent.
A lot of people kind of look at fingerboarding like a toy. Honestly, if you ask a lot of these guys, it's so much more. It's like a stress reliever. It's a sense of community. It's just the biggest misconception. It's just like it's not for everyone, and it really is.
With not much time to spare before the competition, I started to look around at who I'd be up against. And I'll be honest, it's not looking good for me. Luckily, some of the pros I met gave me a little bit of hope.
well, yeah, I think you'll survive. I don't know who all entered. I'm sure there's some heavy hitters in there, but if you got a little bag of tricks, you're probably gonna do all right.
Oh, yeah, man, you gotta watch out for Drax, dude. He's a pretty badass. He's a pretty badass fingerboarder, man. The titty nibbler, dude, he hits a mean half-pipe grind. You know, I'm just saying, I think you'll be able to hold your weight. Good old schmeckle boob, dude. I don't know how you're gonna fucking step up to the plate against him.
I have a good chance at top 3.
And before I could overthink any more than I already have, it was time. All right, so we're on our way. The competition is starting. I gotta get in line. I'm scared. I'm actually terrified.
The Backshot Bandit. Oh, let's just say the Backshot Bandit, dude. He got his name for obvious reasons, and he's probably gonna be a menace on the skate park, dude. I'm just letting you know, if you do any sort of freestyle competition, you do not want to go against him.
And I noticed Jake from earlier was the judge, and he would be deciding my fate. The rules are simple. Whoever does the most impressive trick wins. Now, as my opponents went one by one, I realized
Damn, they only got to do one trick.
there was some pretty serious tricks being done.
They probably have a few tries, though. Oh, they claim their trick.
Yep, I'm cooked. So I knew I had to pull out something crazy. I'll do tray flip.
All right, I'm gonna do an ollie into a half grind, into a toe hook, into a double truck slurpee half grind.
Nose grind, nollie kickflip out. The problem is that you only get 3 tries to land your trick, or else you're out. I watched one by one as everyone did their tricks, and eventually...
Now we got Jack.
Jack?
Yeah.
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 Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do a tray flip, nose grind, nollie kick flip.
Okay.
I get nervous. Here we go.
Oh. Yeah,
one more. One more.
Oh, you almost had that first one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, guys. And just like that, I'm out of the competition.
That's it. That's the whole comp, bro. They stand around for fucking hours and they get 3 tries and then it's done.
Guys, we tried our best today. These people are like actual pros at what they do. I met a lot of sick people. Yeah, I'm honestly not mad about it. This was a fun experience. And this brings us to the end. This whole video, I've been trying to figure out, why do people enjoy these weird hobbies? And I think I found my answer. Because why not? It seems like everyone I met through these hobbies all have one thing in common. They're doers. They don't make excuses. They don't worry about what people may be thinking of them. They simply do what they love doing regardless of what others think. And honestly, every single one of them seems to be very happy doing it. So for those who haven't found a hobby yet, try everything, because who knows, you may just love ironing a shirt off the side of a cliff. And if you have a hobby, then go out and pursue that hobby with everything you got. Because
bro, I want to go to a Beyblade competition so bad now. That made me, nothing in that video, nothing. I would go to a worm competition. Nothing in that video though. I want to go to a Beyblade tournament so bad. Oh my God. I would invest in sick ass Beyblade. I'd be like, they called this one the fucking, the blood, the blood leecher. And it's just like a red 10-pound Beyblade.